So I touched on three main points in my intervention. The first was in respect of trying to level set on what the competitive dynamics in cloud are, and specifically on Google Cloud's position in that. The second was about what that means for Google in practice in terms of how it approaches the market and the importance of multi-cloud to that in particular. And the third was on some observations in respect of how competition is working on the market. So on the first of those, the important point I wanted to underscore was that despite the common refrain that the cloud market is concentrated amongst three providers, Amazon, Microsoft and Google, that in fact the facts clearly show that the market's in fact concentrated only by two providers, Amazon and Microsoft, and that Google is a distant third, much more in the same scale in terms of its market position as the likes of IBM and Oracle than Amazon and Microsoft. And the CMA's provisional findings in its cloud market investigation clearly confirmed that. On the second point then, what that means in practice is that it's in Google's interest very much to encourage multi-cloud, and it's been a chief pioneer when it comes to those technologies that can facilitate it, Kubernetes chief among them. And then finally on the competitive dynamics and how competition is working, our business sees that competition is primarily working very well and competition's intense, with the exception of one key issue, which is Microsoft's licensing practices and essentially their use of their very strong market position across a range of software that the majority of businesses in Europe rely on in order to gain an unfair advantage in cloud by imposing very severe financial penalties and other restrictions on customers who want to deploy their existing software on any cloud provider other than Azure. So those were the three key things I said, and what was an interesting panel.